Whoa, whoa, Copa del Rey live. Yes, we are live, guys. FC RAMSAY is live again, and here we are watching the likes of Atletico Madrid and this game against the likes of Getafe. What is that happening? Because the Riyadh Air Metropolitano is just packed up, and Atletico Madrid are fighting for a silverware on much of the multiple fronts, but the clashes with Getafe and Real Madrid upcoming is also going to decide some of their fates, because here the Roji Blancos against Getafe, it is the quarterfinals. It is Leganes and Real Madrid upcoming tomorrow, as well as Real Sociedad and Osasuna, as well as the likes of Valencia and Barcelona upcoming. What is that going to happen? But along with this game, from the Coppa del Rey matches, we also have the likes of Coppa Italia quarterfinal going on between Atlanta and Bologna. The score lines are over here. It is also the Coupe de France round of 16, Paris Saint-Germain against Le Mans, and yes, as well as the DFB Pokal quarterfinals, the likes of Stuttgart and Augsburg is also happening. But on this stream, we will be focusing the likes of the Copa del Rey, Atletico Madrid, and Getafe on the aspect. What is that going to happen? Because on the score, the lineups, it is over here. If we can have a look of it, it is Griezmann and Alvarez or Diogo Simeone's man. They are on those striking positions. Man, Alvarez is that man who has been doing those menace, and apart from his transfer from Manchester City, you can't deny the fact that Julian Alvarez is the man who has been doing it good. But the experience of Griezmann along with him, both of this pairing is looking lethal in the Champions League as well as in the La Liga. Both of them has been doing it, but can they make it into the Copa del Rey semi-finals? This game against Getafe, to talk about Atletico, the Rojiblancos, they are, in the table, if you talk about at the second spot, just 1 point behind Real Madrid, whereas Getafe are at the 14th spot. Huge differences in terms of differential evolution. If we talk about in this game, both the teams are way top down than each other, but the likes of Lino and Simeone has been picked on the right midfields, Lino on the left midfields. Oh my god. But Javi Galan, Lee Normand, Gimenez and Molina with the likes of Muso, it is not that Gian or Black is there. Oh my god, Gian or Black hasn't been picked on this. There are certain restrictions of the teams as well, which is happening for this, but Diogo Simeone has picked up his elite squad into this. It is Rogi Blancos. They have got their substitutes. If we talk about it, it's Witzel, Aspilicueta, Longlet, Reynaldo on the defense, Gallagher, the other transfer which Atletico has got. Both of them are doing good. Lorente and Riquelme are there on the midfields as well, which definitely Simeone can pick up. But the likes of Sorloth, Korea, and Lema will be seen on the substitutions for the forwards. This is all about the Rogi Blancos lineup. But to talk about the lineup of Getafe, it is here on the watch. It is the likes of Durante, Alderete, Iglesias, and Bernat on the defense. Letasek on the goalkeeping positions, Terrats, the defensive midfield being over there, and Santiago, Sofa, and Gonzalez on the attacking midfields. Uch and Ilrim are there on those striking positions. What is that going to happen? What is that going to happen? We will just witness something big from the Rogi Blancos, and the game has begun. Oh my god, Copa del Rey quarterfinals has just begun, and on the watch, You can also have the poll on the chat section which has been pinned that whether today the Rojiblancos, the Atlanta Nerazzurri, the Bologna and Getafe or the game is going to be abundant for this. I mean, for the Coppa Italia as well as for the likes of Coppa del Rey. The poll has been pinned on the chat section. Give your votes on that poll. Yes, the live links are also there. Join our social media for avail those beautiful cheeky peeky links. Apart from this game, anytime, guys, anytime it is going to just begin. It is Coke who is going to stay on the lineup. If we can have a watch of the Roger Blancos lineup, Coke will be there. Paul with the likes of Simeone and Lino, he has to perform with the likes of Griezmann and Alvarez. Yes, the game has begun the Wednesday, 5th of February. It is the Copa del Rey qualifinals over here. Do give your votes on the chat section that what is that going to happen. Which of the teams are going to win? Give your votes on the chat section, and yes, also avail those live video links which are there on the social media platforms. All the links are given in the video description as well as in the channel description. Damn, this game is going to be interesting. On the other hand, if we talk about the likes of the games which are also happening, it is the DFB Pokal, Stuttgart and Augsburg. Stuttgart is 1-up against Augsburg in halftime. Oh my god, Roger Blancos, that was some moment. It was Alvarez inside the box. Oh my god, look at that pass. Look at that pass. Look at that through pass which was being made. Oh my god, Samuel Lino makes that pass look so good. This is going to be a one-way game, or it is some sort of Getafe trying to get those equalizers late on. What is that going to happen? Yes, the thing which we were talking is there is also the DFB Pokal, Stuttgart and Augsburg. Undab is the man for Stuttgart, scoring it on the half-time, 30th minutes. For Stuttgart, 1-up. PSG against Le Mans. I mean, PSG and Le Mans on the Coupe de France round of 16 is also happening. Oh my god, the Roger Blancos are on the attack in this game. The Roger Blancos are on the attack in this game. If you guys had a watch of PSG and Le Mans, what is going on in the Coupe de France as well as in the Coppa Italia quarterfinal, Atlanta and Bologna. Still, no goals being scored by Gasperini's man. But this game, which we are having the watch along, is that of the Roger Blancos and Atletico. 4 minutes into the game, what is that going to come onto the screen? Are the Roger Blancos going to win it a big time? The lineups are there for Atletico and the likes of Getafe. Getafe to talk about. I mean, they have their man. Ildirim is that player who can make those differences. Will he be that lucky into it? Will Ildirim be that lucky man for Getafe? The lineups are there on the stream as well. Yes, it is visible over here. That is a free kick. Griezmann takes that so beautifully. Oh my god. Griezmann takes that free kick so beautifully. It's such a curl into it. I mean, every time you watch this man, Antonio Griezmann, he is just amazing. He is amazing. I mean, he is that weapon of Simeone who has brought so much glory to the club. Defensive aspect going on from Getafe. There is some passing on. It is the likes of Galan and Lino. Back passing that to Lino Mad. Back to Galan. Lino. Look at that positioning of Griezmann. Look at that positioning of Griezmann. Man, back passes to Jimenez. Oh my god. They are inside the blocks. Julian Alvarez. Griezmann, chip shot. but straight for Letasek. Griezmann created that chip shot so beautifully in it. Oh my god. Griezmann is creating those chip shots look so lethal. I mean, this game, it is going to be a one way or the other. What is that going to happen? But taking Musso as the goalkeeping positions, I mean, Simeone not bringing in Oblak for this game, giving him those rest legs. The next game, they are going to face the Los Blancos. The reason why we are watching this game, Atletico and Los Blancos, the next game upcoming. Tactically, Griezmann is staying a bit high on the pitch at times. Alvarez, Alvarez is not pressing it. That is Griezmann winning that. There is some interception. He has got Alvarez. Oh my God. Griezmann goes single-handedly. It was De Paul and Alvarez also on the run. That was a gifted away pass. That was a gifted away pass to Griezmann. But what was that shot taken by Griezmann? Oh my God. Griezmann has got the likes of Alvarez and De Paul both running in. With that interception, it was a gifted pass, but Griezmann just misses it. Griezmann misses this opportunity big time against Getafe. 5 minutes, 44 seconds on the watch. That is a big, big chance given away for Griezmann, but he misses it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, the vote has come that the Roger Blancos are going to win it. But what about the other teams? Whether the Atlanta and Nerazzurri, as well as the likes of other options, you are there. You can cast your vote onto the stream. The voting section has been pinned on the chat. Get your live links also from there. Getafe, can they make some build up? Can we look some of the build ups? Getafe are way down in the La Liga on the 14th spot, but the Roger Blancos, two transfers this summer, Alvarez as well as Callagher, both are doing, oh my God, missed passes happening from Getafe time and again. This time it is Alvarez. He passes that to Lino. Lino has got Galan. It is the likes of Griezmann, Coke. That is a pass for Griezmann inside the box, denied. Lino again, Galan making that cross. Take that header, boy. That is the first goal which has come. Oh my God. Look at that, man. That is Guillermo Simeone scoring it in just 7 minutes. Look at that scoring sheet. Oh my God. Guillermo Simeone has scored. What to talk about this man? Diogo Simeone bringing in his own Guillermo Simeone, and this is his second goal. I mean, to be precise, third goal for the Roger Blancos. Simeone has scored. Simeone has scored. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. What a pass that was from Galan. Perfect cross that was from Galan, and it was Simeone scoring it. Look at that. Guillermo Simeone scoring it. His third goal for the Roger Blancos on the quarterfinals. That is the first goal. Atletico are 1 up in just 7 minutes of the gameplay. How many more are they going to get? How many more are they going to get? Oh my God. They have scored, guys. They have scored. They have got that 1 goal lead. Now they are going to crusade it away big time. Oh my God. Gonzalez from Getafe cutting it into the box. That was some interception from Nomad. Nomad makes that interception, but Getafe, from the likes of their young player on the pitch, Gonzalez from the right wings, just cuts it so good into the box. Getafe are making those build-ups. Can Lee Nomad as well as the likes of Gimenez prove that worthy of to get it a big time win. Musso taking that goal kick. I mean, to talk about Musso, he is that another player who has got those defensive goalkeeping aspects so good on his attributes. Lino again on the wings, back passes to Coke. The ball, the ball is speeding up. Interception. Bologna are meeting interceptions from the likes of Sola on the pitch. Bologna passes that to the ball. Build up trying to be made. Build ups are trying to be made on the pitch. I mean, if you guys had the watch of the lineups, then we can change it from our main panel. Yes, it looks good. Time and again, Simeone is making his moves. Simeone in this game up to the 10th minute, he is making his moves. Oh my god, look at that, look at that. It is Uch who has got so much of physicality into this game. Getafe are now showing some physicality on this pitch. Gonzalez, Uch. It is up to for Ildirim to get those goals converted, but can they get those assists? I mean, the first goal which has been scored, Galan giving those assists to Simeone, and Simeone gets that header far to the far post. It is Griezmann again taking his right footer, but straight for Letasek. Griezmann, this is his second shot on the post. This is Griezmann with his second shot on the post, but no, denied. To talk about the Roger Blancos, they are going to face Los Blancos in the upcoming fixtures, if to be precise, the next game, but that is going to happen at the Santiago Bernabeu. Roger Blancos. Next, they have Celta Vigo and Valencia, as well as the likes of Athletic. Not of much big games for Atletico this month, apart from the likes of facing Los Blancos at the Santiago Bernabeu. That will be the title decider. Roger Blancos 1 point behind the Los Blancos. Can they make it happen? Whereas Ancelotti has got Manchester City Pep Guardiola for those two legs of the Champions League as well. My God, La Liga is rolling high up this February month. The Premier League, Manchester City Pep Guardiola having those fixtures. In the Bundesliga, it is Bayer Leverkusen having those big fixtures against Leverkusen, Stuttgart, and as well as the likes of Frankfurt. On the other hand, in the La Liga, it is Ancelotti who is having those big fixtures. They have to face Roger Blancos. They have got City. Big fixtures upcoming, big games this February month, the Valentine's. Can the football lovers celebrate their love on the Valentine's this month? I mean, to talk about this goalkeeper, Musso, I mean, look at his character. He stays so composed, he stays so cool on the pitch, and he denies any sort of mispasses to be happening. He is calm, he has that peace, he has got his nerves cool. I mean, is Gian Oblak going to be replaced? Because on the other hand, to talk about this man Musso, he is doing his job so good. Atletico are trying to change their forward. They have got Alvarez, Griezmann. Now it is for Koke to bring up to those forward moments. But Getafe are not looking to make any passes happening. Getafe are not looking to make any passes happening. On the other hand, it is Stuttgart and Augsburg. It is one up Stuttgart on the half time, whereas PSG and Le Mans, it is Desire Doué who has scored for PSG. That is a one-way game, which PSG will definitely get it exploited. On the other hand, Atlanta and Bologna in the Coppa Italia, it has the first half has ended for that Coppa Italia quarterfinals. I mean, the January it was the Super Copa. In the February it is the Coppa Italia. Big games for Atlanta, Gasperini's men, AC Milan, Juventus, and Inter. They are back again. What are we going to face? And at the Copa del Rey, I mean, to talk about the knockouts, oh my god, I think that is the second goal incoming. Can we get it? Simeone passing it for DePaul. DePaul has a missed pass. He is looking injured on the pitch. Getafe on that cross for Gonzalez, but no, denied. 15 minutes on the watch. One goal up. One goal up. The Rojiblancos are one goal up, but what are the likes of Uche to get those headers good? It was some opportunity. Getafe got it, but that header wasn't that clinical. That header wasn't that clinical to get into it. But can we expect Simeone to get more out of this? He is that young man who will be seen much, and he is going to be that steady player on the pitch time and again. One goal up, 16 minutes. It is Getafe trying to make those wing change time and again. But now Alvarez has won it. Is he going to pass? He has got that with the ball, passes that to Simeone. Simeone gets his second goal. Oh my god. The Rojiblancos in just 16 minutes, 30 seconds of the gameplay. Two up. Two up it is. Diogo Simeone has got the likes of his own Guillermo Simeone scoring his second goal. This bright kid is going his future so good in this club. Simeone is that player who is going to get his future. 22 years of age from Argentina. Guillermo Simeone is the man talking over here for the quarterfinals. 27 games played. This is his 28th, and 4 goals being scored from Deporte Alves, but from the Atletico Madrid B, this man at the B has got big goals at the Atletico Madrid B, but now at the Rojiblancos A team, he has got his 4th goal. This season, this is the 4th goal Simeone has got. This young kid is going to get big aspects coming on. Diogo Simeone has got the likes of Guillermo Simeone. He has got those capabilities. He can make it big. He can make it big. I mean, if we just have a watch of what are the matches of this quarterfinals going to take place. Yes, it is on the pitch. I mean, we can just have it from here as well. Yes, it is that the knockouts. It is Rojiblancos against Getafe today. The next it is Leganes and Real Madrid tomorrow. On the other hand, on the February 7th, it is Real Sociedad and Osasuna and Valencia and Barcelona. These are the fixtures for the Copa del Rey. This tournament. It is Simeone again inside the box. No, denied. This time Simeone has been denied, but that pass was for Griezmann. Look at that. The second goal, which come in so good, Alvarez made that run. He passed it so beautifully, but it is that constant pressure with Simone as well as the likes of De Paul. I mean, three of the Rojiblancos are moving high up on the pitch for those as attacks. Diogo Simeone is the long-term manager, and his new Guillermo Simeone on the pitch looking so good. He is that man talking. Two goals, five shots on target by the Rojiblancos, four on target, two chances converted. Big talking point in the Copa del Rey. That is a goal kick. Can Getafe get those equalizers, or this is that one-way game which is going to end for the Rojiblancos? Lenormand, he passes that to Galan. Galan finds Lino. Can Coke and De Paul make those midfield aspects look good? I mean, to talk about in this game, Coke has been staying it on most of the defensive aspects. That is a missed pass. This is the first missed pass in the game from Musso. But no worries for the defensive aspect of the Rojiblancos. I mean, what is that? Iglesias is trying to have a word with the likes of Lino and Alvarez. Alvarez, a clinical pass that is to Griezmann. What a soft touch. Simeone again, he has got Molina. Molina tries to get it to the right wings, but that touch was heavy for him. That touch was a bit heavy from Molina. I mean, to talk about Molina, he is that player. I mean, he has also got those capabilities. He makes those runs from the likes of Argentina. Jimenez from Uruguay. De Paul is that Argentine player. Lee Normand from Spain. Coke is that man from Spain. Simeone is from the likes of Argentina. Griezmann from France. Alvarez, Argentina. Samuel Lino, Brazil. I mean, Simeone has got a mix of the Latin Americans combining with those of the Spaniards in his team. On the other hand, the likes of Witzel from Belgium, Aspilicueta is also there, Longlet, he is also present over there. I mean, what a mixture of the players which Diogo Simeone is bringing in. Riquelme, on the other hand, is also that player from Spain. Correa, Angel Correa, the substitution from Argentina. Thomas Lemar, the attack to be brought in from France. I mean, to be precise, Diogo Simeone goes for the hunt of those Argentine players, those Spaniards. One is that from the likes of Brazil, that is Samolino, and it is France. They have got, I mean, this mixture. Diogo Simeone prefers to get those Latin Americans, especially the likes of Argentine, as well as one of the Brazilian and two French players, and the rest are those Spaniards. It is for the Rojiblancos. Diogo Simeone cooking it up for a long time at the Atletico de Madrid. And at home, they are winning it big against. It is Alvarez inside the box. Will he take that shot? Alvarez takes that shot, but it has been blocked. Alvarez was lucky. He was there in a free space inside the box. That ball, that touch from De Paul. Oh my God. De Paul makes that first touch so good. Gets Alvarez in the right position, but this time Alvarez wasn't that clinical and there was a block. Alvarez got a block. It is Griezmann taking those corners, left footer. It comes it. The curl was good. The bend was there. But interception from Getafe. Getafe are getting those interceptions now, and they are down to their own defensive half to get those blocks. No build-ups looking that efficient from Getafe on the pitch. Pepe Bordalas, talking about his aspect, he has to be really worried of by the performance of Ildirim and Uchi on the squad. If we have a look of the Atletico Madrid lineup again, all those players Diego Simeone especially prefers now in the squad is from the likes of Argentina, France, and Spain. Most of the players belong to those scoutings, big scouting from Diego Simeone, from Argentina. And to talk about the likes of Diego Simeone, that man from Argentina, looking about his stats, he has got 715 matches as a manager for the Rojiblancos, 427 wins, 154 draws, 134 losses. That is a big stat for Diego Simeone. From 2011 December to 2025 February, that is, almost 14 and a half years he is staying at the Rojiblancos, the club which he prefers. His first club was Racing Club, Estudiantes, River Plate, San Lorenzo, Catania, Racing Club again, and from that he joins Atletico on 2011 December. That is a big managerial aspect Diego Simeone has got. To stay those 14 and a half years in the same club, Rogi Blancos has got those big 14 years in the name of Simeone. Molina again making those crosses, but no. Javi Galan inside the box. Oh my god, he is dribbling past all the Getafe players single handedly. It is Alvarez passing that third goal incoming. It was Molina making those passes. Denied. It has been denied. Samuel Lino could have got that third goal for the Rojiblancos. But look at that from Galan. He was single-handedly just trying to cut into the defense of the Getafe. Alvarez getting it good. But that cross, that through ball inside the box for Lino just couldn't get that touch. Let's the ball again. Back to Koke. Galan. Galan gives that pass. Oh my god, look at that playmaking from Galan. It was straight to Simeone. That is a foul on the pitch. That is a foul on the pitch. And DePaul is down on the pitch. That is a bad gameplay. Getafe are now losing their nerves. Yes, that is the lineup which is on the main panel on the screen which you are watching. It is for the Rojiblancos. On the other hand, Getafe, with this lineup, are they looking to cook up anything which is going to come? Are Getafe going to cook up anything which is going to happen for them? Are Getafe going to make those things happen? It is the referee on the pitch, Guillermo Guardo Fernandez, having some word with the likes of DePaul on the pitch. That tackle was definitely not a good one. That tackle was definitely not a good one. Not to be appreciated on the pitch of football, such tackles. Such tackles are not to be appreciated on the pitch of football. How is that going to affect? Are the Rojiblancos going to get some injuries out of this game at the end? Because the next they have to face Los Blancos at the Santiago Bernabeu. Oh my God, Getafe are looking hopeless. Getafe are now really looking hopeless, trying to make nothing out of this. I mean, tactically speaking, they are not getting those big numbers counting, and they are not even trying to get the Rojiblancos outnumbered. Efficiency lacking from the likes of Getafe, and it is all the way for the Rojiblancos getting it so good. They are making it look so good on the pitch. They are making it look good so much on this pitch. I mean, if we switch this panel over here, no, but this panel is looking good. So yes, that was the lineup of Getafe and Atletico Madrid. We had a detailed discussion of it. Those of you who are watching it now can have a scoop up and back to the timeline. You can get those. That was into the pitch. Ildirim, can he get those headers? No. Sola from the likes of Getafe makes that cross for Ildirim, but no, Ildirim wasn't that clinical. Ildirim wasn't that clinical to get that touch or that header to be converted into a goal. As well as there is a poll on the chat section which has been pinned that it is the Rojiblancos in the Coppa del Rey, it is the Atalanta in the Coppa Italia for today's game, or it is the upsets coming in from Bologna and Getafe. What are your votes to give on the poll section which has been pinned on the chat? Simeone passes that back to De Paul. De Paul is playing that whole player at times. Galan passes that to Griezmann. Back to Galan. Galan has cut in for Alvarez. Block. That was a block. Getafe are now just down to their own defensive half getting those blocks. It is this south wind which is causing those disrupts, I guess. Not making anything look good on the pitch. It is Simeone again getting those passes. Guillermo Simeone time and again he is making those runs as well as those free spaces which he is getting. On the other hand, it is like of Alderete from Getafe just to get those blocks. I mean, the performance of Terrats and Santiago on the midfields. Oh my God, that is the third goal. It was Griezmann. What a left footer outside curler it was. Oh my God. Griezmann made that shot look so good, but denied in the end. Denied. Look at that. Look at that. It is four of the Rojiblancos staying on those attacking aspects now. Atletico are in hunt of more goals incoming. Atletico are looking on the hunt of more goals incoming. But tactically, look at that press. I mean, from the left wings, Lino is not getting those moves. It is most of the times the runs from Simeone and Atletico with the likes of De Paul from the right midfield of the pitch is getting those moves. He is those creative playmaking from the likes of De Paul and Griezmann is making it look good. From the likes of Samuel Lino and Galan, both of them are doing good, but the aspect of Koke staying deep on the defensive midfields is not getting those moves. Alvarez, on the other hand, he has got those opportunities, but he wasn't that clinical in this game so far. But Alvarez is that man, he performs it so good. Oh my God, it is Alvarez winning it. The time which we're talking, it is Griezmann who has got it. He passes to Alvarez. Alvarez gets that goal. My God, Alvarez has missed it. He was one-on-one against Letasac. That goalkeeper from Getafe, he couldn't even get a deflection to it. It was Alderete getting those tackles, losing it against Alvarez, Griezmann getting those runs, but Alvarez inside the box against Letasek. Oh my god, that was expected to get that ball into the nets, but no, just we had a talk about that in this game to talk about Julian Galvarez. He is getting those position of the ball at the right pitch at the right time, but his conversions in this game are still not looking that clinical. Maybe he is not one of his best form, but he has got those clinical finishing against Leverkusen in the Champions League. He has got those moments in the La Liga this season as well. But for this game, Alvarez is not looking in the best of his form. On the other hand, Samolino, is he trying to get some cut in? That left midfield, just look at it. It is Coke, Samolino, and Alvarez for those build ups. On the defensive aspects, Coke is looking rock solid. But on the creativity from that side of the pitch, lack of Julian Alvarez on the centre forwards is what Diogo Simone must be, bit worried of for that next game upcoming. He has to get his forwards. This is that game few days ahead against the Roji Blancos, the Los Blancos. They have to get those big numbers counting. That is the boost which they will get. 1 point behind the Real Madrid. The next game upcoming, it is the game in the Copa del Rey where the Roji Blancos have to get those big playtime. It is Gonzalez, Getafe inside the box. Santiago, will he get those shots? No, denied. It is again deep ball. That is a missed pass, but finally Gimenez and the likes of Molina clearing it good. Now again the Roger Blancos are looking for those counters with the likes of Samolino moving into the left wings. He cuts in into the box, getting those mid passes. But that was a block. That was a block from Durate on the centre back. Every time the Roger Blancos are getting those counters, they are looking lethal and they can get as many goals in this game. Because from the defensive aspects, Getafe is just slurring down so bad. Griezmann has got that corner again from his left footer from the left corner of the pitch. That was straight. It comes straight for De Paul outside the box. De Paul gets a chip shot, but none of the forwards were there to take it. Getafe trying to get some build-ups from the likes of Gonzalez. Gonzalez with his left footer tries to find Sola, but where is the involvement of Ildirim on the pitch? Uch is that player who is trying to get some deep lying moments, but Santiago and Ildirim are not making those spaces count for those attacks to be made. Look at that cameraman at the Copa del Rey fixture. His seat is looking so good. Terrats as well as the likes of Santiago. They are staying on the midfields, but none of them from Getafe are making those moves in those spaces in the midfield. Simeone has got those 2 goals. Can Guillermo Simeone get his third goal of the night? Can Guillermo Simeone get his third goal of the night? That is the thing which we will be having a watch of. Can he get his third goal? Can Guillermo Simeone get his third goal? Yes, the audio quality is looking good. The video quality is also at the right aspect. It is the men in red and blue, the Rojiblancos, getting those good moments. It is a one-sided game looking still so far on the 40th minute. Not happening, not happening. Getafe are not making those things happening. It is for Alvarez from DePaul. Simeone making those right wing movements. He is right on the pitch. Back passes that to DePaul. DePaul, is he going for any forward runs? No, he passes back to Molina on the right back. DePaul tries to find Koke, but that is interception. It is Ilderim. Now he is seen dropping down. That is what Ilderim has to make to get some sort of equalizers, at least a goal against the Rojiblancos. I mean, big bet. The bookkeepers will be pretty much annoyed if Getafe are going to get those upsets in this game. But it is not looking that way up to do 45 minutes of the watch along. That is what which we are talking about. Neither of Terets and Santiago on the defensive midfields are looking making those drop down anchor positions. Galan passes that to Lenormand. Back to Jimenez. Jimenez has got the ball. Yes, Jimenez is making those runs. Simeone crosses that for Molina. No, he got that. With the likes of Alvarez, it is that third goal. Oh my god, I told you guys, Samuel Lino was looking lethal. And Alvarez this time not going for that first time shot. Rather, he passed that to Samuel Lino. It is that fifth goal which we have got. Oh my god, what is that? A fly on here. That is the third goal. Samuel Lino was looking clinical. He was making those creative passes. And Alvarez, on the other hand, wasn't looking that clinical in the finishings. And this time he went for Lino on the pitch. Lino gets a cut in. That was good with his left foot, a fake shot. Then he takes it from his right foot. Nowhere near for Letasek and Duarte to get those blocks. Iglesias gets those sliding tackles even, but not at the right moment. It was just one-sided. The Roger Blancos, every time they are getting those attacks counting into the box, they are scoring it. When is Julian Alvarez going to get those goals? Miss pass is happening. It is Lee Normand, but it is Uch who has got that. But what a shot from Uch! Oh my god. This was, if you talk about it, the first big chance for Getafe in this game. It was the likes of Sola passing that for Uch, but no. Number 6 on the pitch, Uch gets his right footer against the likes of the goalkeeper for the Roger Blancos. That is the man Musso on the pitch. He just missed it. He just missed it. That is a big opportunity which Uch has missed. I mean, this could have been some hope for them if he would have got those clinical finishings. But it didn't happen. Coke again. The ball. Simeone passes that for Alvarez. No. Interception. Block from DePaul. Okay, has got the position, but the referee on page, Guillermo Corda Fernandez, makes his decision. and that is a free kick awarded. It is a free kick for Getafe late in the end of the half time. It is Uch again inside the box trying to get some shots. But what are those shots which Uch is making? My god. Uch is looking frustrated with his own performances. I mean, on the defensive aspects, Roger Blancos, especially from the defensive aspects, were not looking it, but it was for Uch from Getafe to get those conversions. But Uch is that player. I mean, I don't know how is he missing those. How is he missing those? Two big chances for Uch late in the half time. But Getafe are not getting the involvement of Ildirim into the pitch. They are not getting the involvement of Ildirim into the pitch. Much of the possession by the Roger Blancos, but not that efficient. 6 total shots on target out of 10, 5 big chances, but converting 3. And that is a one-sided game, whereas no shots on target by Getafe. Whereas they haven't got those big chances, but there were some opportunities for Uj to get it converted. Now Getafe are looking to make some build up. It is the likes of Sola getting those cut ins. Look at that forward movement. Every of the Getafe players are looking on a straight line. How is that going to happen? If all of your players are coming on to a straight line, how is that going to happen on the pitch of football? And you are not getting those crosses when you are trying to get those horizontal or vertical passes. Not happening. That is Getafe 2 minutes off added time in the first half to be concluded, but Getafe has got a free kick. Is that free kick looking close to the box? But no, I don't think so. I don't think so. That free kick is looking, yes, it is just bit high on the edge of the box. Free kick being taken, but that was a block. Man, wasted. Getafe are wasting those chances. Not in the best of their form. Diego Simeone's men 3 up, 2 from the likes of Giuliano Simeone and 1 from the likes of Samuel Lino. It is 47 minutes, 2 minutes off at a time in the first half is over. When is that referee on the pitch going to blow the whistle? Guillermo Guarda Fernandez. That is the end of the first half. And yes, I mean, Diogo Simeone's men must be happy with the performances. Must be happy with the performances. I mean, to have a detailed discussion, let's change our panel to this. It looks good over here. I mean, just have a watch. I mean, Galan from the left backs. I mean, would you guys just give me a 1 minute break so that we can have a detailed discussion of what happened in this game? It is the first half which is going on, and the Roger Blancos are 3 goals up. On the other hand, in the DFB Pokals, talking about Stuttgart and Augsburg, it is Stuttgart with that 1 goal of Undaf on the 30th minute are up. It is 79 minutes of gameplay. Stuttgart and Augsburg in the DFB Pokal quarter final, which is ongoing. These scorelines are there on the main panel. You can have it, as well as the watch links are there in the social media. The descriptions are there in the channel as well as in the video. On the other hand, PSG against Le Mans, 1 up, 1 sole goal from Douai in the Coupe de France round of 16. Atlanta against the likes of Bologna. Oh my god, that game Atlanta are still goalless against Bologna. That is a big game. Coppa Italia quarterfinal as well going on. But we are having the watch of Atletico Madrid and Getafe. We will have a detailed discussion of what is happening, but let me just take a 1 minute break and I'll be just back. The first half has ended and there is a break going on. We will also take a short break. There is the vote which has been, a poll section has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes over it. Who are going to get those wins? And on the other hand, the links are also there on the social media platform. Do have a check and do check the different leagues, the playlist which are there on our channel of the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, the Champions League. All the leagues are there in a different playlist. Check out those and give me a minute so that I will be back with a short break. Do stay tuned, guys. And yes, give us those like, share, and subscribe. I'll be just back in 1 minute. It is those big time win coming in for the Roger Blancos in this game. The Atletico Madrid are getting those big time wins. I mean, in this game, they are going to get those 5 goals or not. That will be the watch to have because the next game against the Los Blancos, it will be too critical. And the reason we are watching this game is for that next game, which Diego Simeone's men have in their fixtures. 3 goals up the Roger Blancos, and this is RAMSAY back for the second half. Let us have the look of the total stats on this game. If to be precise, I mean, it was the likes of Alert who got those chances. I mean, on the watch, if we have, but it was all the way 10 shots which the Roger Blancos took. 6 on target, 5 big chances they got. That was huge. That was huge. And 2 big chances they missed. It was Alvarez not getting those clinical moments on the pitch. Julian Alvarez, the transfer of this season, he has done those big moments this season, but in this game he hasn't been clinical. And on that third goal, which was quite evident, Alvarez didn't went for those shots and he passed that to Lino. Lino getting his first goal. Whereas to talk about Guillermo Simeone, that man on the pitch, he is looking so good. Simeone is that man, he is looking so good on the pitch. You can't just deny this young man from scoring. Diego Simeone and Guillermo Simeone, the new pairing at the Roger Blancos. Will he be the man to be noted against the game against Los Blancos? That is also the watch to have. But on the pitch, just look at it. It was inside the box 1, 2, and 3 shots which the Roger Blancos took. Whereas Getafe has also got 1, 2, and 3 and 4 shots, but none of them were target on the target. I mean, it was their striker Uch missing it so badly. That is all about the first half, where the Roger Blancos are getting it big. And if we move on from this to the game in the DFB Pokal, Stuttgart and Augsburg, to be precise, I mean, just have the aspect of this game, Stuttgart with the likes of Augsburg, Stuttgart the men in red and Augsburg the men in green. Stuttgart has got those 12 shots, 2 on target, 2 big chances, 1 big chances missed, and converting 1 goal from the likes of their forward Undav. That was good. It is the DFB Pokal quarterfinal which is going on, and if we have the watch of the quarterfinal fixtures of the DFB Pokal, it is Stuttgart. On the other hand, it is Leverkusen against Cologne, and Leipzig and Wolfsburg coming on February 27th. The different aspects of the Bundesliga DFB Pokal, which is also ongoing. On the other hand, it is the likes of Paris Saint-Germain against Le Mans in the Copa de France quarterfinals, round of 16 to be precise. PSG, the men in blue, and they have got those 75% possession. They are looking it so good. They are looking it so good. They have got those 5 shots, 1 big chance, and they missed it, but they have scored 1 goal. That is all from the game ongoing between PSG and Le Mans. But Atlanta and Bologna, this game is looking big. This game is looking big because look at this. Atlanta has got those 11 shots, 4 on target, no big chances. The men in blue, whereas the young man Maldini on the pitch, who has been brought in to Atlanta, he is that man to be counted, because in the lineup, if we have a look on it, it is this man Maldini. Just look at it. I mean, he has got those substitutions as well on those 59th minute. Maldini is that young man at Atlanta all the eyes will be watching on. And on the stats, Both of these teams are looking so good. Atlanta and Bologna, they have got those 11 and 12 shots. Big one, but the scoreline still is no goals scored from both the teams. No goals being scored by both the teams. But if we have a look at the knockout, just look at it. It is Juventus who is against Empoli, and it is Atlanta who will be looking to crush Bologna in this game. On the other hand, it is Milan and Roma coming on tomorrow. And yes, it is Inter and Lazio, the game which will be on the February of 26th. The clash, I mean, if AC Milan and Juventus are moving from those upper brackets and Atlanta and Inter Milan are moving from those upper brackets, then it will be the repeat telecast of the Supercoppa d'Italia in the month of February, which was held. But is it going to be Inter or Milan who are going to be the finalists? Because both Milan and Inter, if they are going to get those wins, then they will face each other in the semi-finals. My God, three big clashes between AC Milan and Inter Milan in the month of January and February. My goodness, Milan getting those big wins, but it is Inter who are at the higher spot in the Serie A table. But Milan has got those big wins, I mean, in the past three games to talk about the Milan derby. But on the other hand, Juventus and Atlanta once again facing on the semi-finals. What a big clash happening. It is either Juventus or Atlanta going to get to the finals, or it is Milan or Inter going to the finals. This is the Supercoppa d'Italia which is happening. But this watch along which we are having, the likes of Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals against Getafe, just have a watch of this. I mean, it is Atletico and Getafe for the semi-final spot. Leganes and Real Madrid tomorrow. Real Sociedad and Osasuna on 7th of February, and it is Valencia and Barcelona. It is Barcelona who will move to the final spot because they will face either Real Sociedad or Osasuna on their next if they win against Valencia. But it is the likes of Rojiblancos and Real Madrid who will be seen facing each other on the semi-finals. And in this weekend also, it is the Milan derby which is cooking up. Oh my God. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid are going to face back-to-back two times apart from the first leg of the La Liga. What is that going to happen? Any changes being made for the second half? No, not made. The players are seen on the pitch. What is that going to up? Is it going to be those equalizers coming from Getafe? Or is it the one way for the Rojiblancos to be on this game? What is that going to be cooked up? Oh my God, it is some big time win incoming. No changes made by Diogo Simone as well as Pepe Bordalas. On the other hand, Atlanta and Bologna are still goalless. Still goalless. Atlanta and Bologna are still goalless. Oh my God. I mean, if it is Juventus and Atlanta, my God, Coppa Italia is going to take a big turn. The players are seen coming onto the pitch. Any substitutions being made for the first half lineup is going to be that for the Rojiblancos. Yes, we have got those votes. It is those straight wins for the Rojiblancos, the Atletico coming on for tonight. But this weekend, the game against the Rojiblancos, Real Madrid. No, it is Borja Mayoral as well as Joan Me coming onto the pitch. Carlos Perez, Moral. I mean, look at those substitutions being made. It is Carlos Perez, Moral, as well as Juan coming onto the pitch. Three substitutions being made by Pep Bordalas. Three substitutions being made. Pep Bordalas has made those three substitutions. Borja Mayoral, that man, the striker on the pitch from Real Madrid, back from loan to Getafe. Borja Mayoral from the Real Madrid Castella has been brought into the pitch. Will he make those differences? He has got the likes of Roma, he has got the likes of Getafe, Levante, Wolfsburg. He has got those experiences. Number 9, 27 years of age, Borja Mayoral. Can he make those differences upcoming? Three substitutions being made. Pep Bordalas, but Diego Simeone sticking to his first lineup. What was there for the Rojiblancos? Can that happen? Can that happen for tonight? But no, it is the Rojiblancos with that first lineup trying to make some passes for Simeone. Simeone tried to pass that for Molina, but that was a miss pass. The second half has just begun. 3 goals down, Getafe. Can they make those comebacks? But Borja Mayoral is that man on the pitch from the Real Madrid Castilla. Can he make those differences count? Simeone has got his substitutions running on the lines. They are getting those warm-ups. The ball passes that back to Lenormand, Molina, Griezmann, Poke, Alvarez. Alvarez changes the flanks. He has got Lino. Lino passes that to Jalan. Galan has that cross coming in from the left wings. It was for Griezmann, but a safe interception. That was a safe interception from the Getafe defense. Alderete gets those touches good. Back to Lenormand. The ball. That is the man. That is the man which I am talking about. The number 24, Juan on the pitch. He is making those aggressive runs. Will these substitutions from Pep Bordalas make those changes happen for Getafe? It is those challenges. Terrats. What a challenge to DePaul. DePaul is down on the pitch. That is a bad challenge. Diego Simeone can't afford to get any man on the injuries. He has got those two Champions League. But those two matches, if we talk about the Rojiblancos in the fixtures for the Champions League, they are safe into the top spot. They have got Celta Vigo, Valencia, Athletic, Getafe again in the La Liga on March 9th, and it is on the March 16th where they are going to face Barcelona. Oh my god, it is Simeone getting his hat-trick. It is Guillermo Simeone getting his hat-trick. Has that goal been denied? Oh my god, that was some opportunity. Look at it. Alvarez makes that pass. Galan, guess that. Oh my god. Guillermo Simeone, has he got his hat-trick? There is some sort of check going on by the referee on the pitch. Is that hat-trick going to count? What is that the referee is? Oh my god, the flags are raised. That was bit offside. Guillermo Simeone, is he going to get his hat-trick tonight? Just before the clash of the derby, Madrid derby upcoming this weekend, can Guillermo Simeone get his hat-trick for tonight? Getafe has that throw taken in, back to their defense. It is Mayoral inside the box. Can he take that shot? Denied. Look at that. Borja Mayoral is that player on the pitch. He was at the right pitch, right time, but he couldn't get that first touch good. Borja Mayoral is looking lethal, guys. Can he make those differences? Still 40 minutes of the second half plus stoppage time. The ball passes that to Griezmann. Griezmann cutting in. Alvarez, Griezmann with his left footer. Will he take that shot? Denied. Sam Molino with the possession. But the referee has blown his whistle. It is some free kick. Look at that. Griezmann with his number 7 on the back was running in so deep into the box. But he has been denied. In the second half, Getafe are looking a bit composed in their build-ups. They are not losing away those build-up and position cheaply for the Rojiblancos to be happening. But Guillermo Simeone, will he get that hat-trick? Or is it the likes of Borja, Mayoral getting his equalizers? What is that going to happen? Getafe are now looking a bit creative in the second half at least. But look at that involvement from the mid pitch. Getafe are not getting any involvement on the pitch from the likes of Terrat, Santiago. No one is making those runs. How is that they are going to get the Rojiblancos outnumbered? I mean, Pep Bordalas to talk about his strategies on this game. From the midfield, he is lacking it big time. He is lacking it big time from the midfield. Neither Gonzalez nor Sola made those impressions good in the first half, as well as they have got Ildirim into those substitutions. Which was that man who got those chances? Apart from those, in the first half, Getafe were not looking at all lethal. It is Uch again inside the box. He is up against the likes of Jimenez, but that is a good block. Jimenez got those interceptions, and that was good. I mean, that goal being given offside, look at that. I mean, Alvarez was just, I mean, few inches if you talk about. The ball passes that to Coke, back passes it to Molina, Jimenez, Molina again. Most of the Rojiblancos are now staying high up on the pitch. They are looking so confident. 5 of their players are staying high up on the pitch. Whereas Getafe in the second half are looking a bit composed, but none of their build-ups are looking lethal. The passes are not happening, their crosses are not coming on the right spot. I mean, every time the Rojiblancos are getting those counters, they are looking deadly to get those fourth goal. But how many more goals are the Rojiblancos going to get? or it is the likes of Guillermo Simeone getting his hat trick. What is that coming on? That is the watch for. On the other hand, Atlanta and Bologna. Oh my god, Bologna has scored that first goal. It is Atalanta who are going to get. My god, Atlanta are going to get evicted from the Coppa Italia quarter-final. Bologna are going to get those big upset wins against Atlanta. Oh my god, Bologna has scored their first goal. They are one up against Atlanta. My goodness. Atlanta will be knocked out of the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. My goodness. My goodness. Atlanta will be kicked out of the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. Alvarez passes to Lino. No, not happening. My goodness. Coppa Italia quarterfinals. Look at this. Can you just believe this? It is Atlanta who is going to be knocked out by Bologna. Oh my god. Oh my god. Atlanta is going to be knocked out by Bologna. Big news upcoming for tomorrow morning. That is the reason we knew it and we were watching this game. Atlanta were definitely going to get those losses. Bologna, on the other hand, were playing so good. But how is Getafe going to make those differences? 3 goals down in the first half. They have just been battered badly in the first half. In the second half, they are looking bit decent, but not yet as composed to get those equalizers. Not happening. In the second half, they are gaining those positions in those build-ups, but only the thing which is happening from Getafe is their passes onto those defensive aspects, but no build up happening in the mid pitch. They are going vast onto those far corners. Look at that, look at that. That positioning is overlapping. Look at that. It was both the likes of Borja Mayoral and the likes of Uj. They are just overlapping their positions. Getafe are looking to create those spaces which is not looking that efficient. Look at that positioning from Terrats. He is staying so high up on the pitch. And it is some single-handed chances. Oh my God, Borja Mayoral has got a chance. Can he get those conversions good? But no, denied. Finally, Musso gets the first win tackle of this game. It is upon these substitutions of Borja Mayoral. Getafe are looking to at least get a goal. But even Borja Mayoral was offside with that. Finally, a save which we can count on this game by Musso. 58 minutes on the pitch. Now the Rojiblancos are going to make those changes. It is the likes of Aspilicueta who is seen coming onto the pitch. Rojiblancos are going to get those 3 substitutions oncoming. 3 substitutions. Piero, Simeone coming onto the pitch. Diogo Simeone is now making these substitutions count on the pitch. It is Angel Correa, Aspilicueta, as well as Callagher coming onto the pitch. The three substitutions for Diogo Simeone comes on the 60th minute of the watch. It is that double header, double scoring. Guillermo Simeone coming off to the sidelines. Angel Correa being getting those substitution moments onto the pitch. And all praise for that young man, Guillermo Simeone, on the pitch. He has made the difference getting those two goals. Alvarez also coming on. Alvarez has been substituted. Javi Galan has also been substituted. It is those defensive aspects, Callagher as Biliqueta coming onto the pitch and Angel Correa, the attack coming on for Alvarez. Griezmann is staying. Griezmann is staying. Still, they have got the substitutions of Lorente, Riquelme as well as Lemar to be made. With the likes of Sorloth. Diogo Simeone has got those big squad on the list against Bologna. And now Callagher, the man, comes in with the likes of Aspilicueta. What is the difference which Simeone is trying to make with these substitutions? The watch for the second half. Callagher staying on the left midfields. Whereas Aspilicueta has replaced Galan on the left backs. Samolino dropping down to the defensive aspect as well. That was the shot taken. Terats takes that first shot in the second half. The first shot which was taken but wide of the post. That angle which Terats was just asking himself to take it, that was bit wide. Corner incoming from Getafe. That is a corner incoming from Getafe. That is a deep down low cross being taken and well blocked by Griezmann. Griezmann gets that block so good. That block from Griezmann completely denied Getafe, but that corner being taken was so down the pitch. No worries for the Roger Blancos so far in the second half. Uche gets that header, but straight into Formosa. No worries. Uche is that player on the pitch from Getafe. He is getting those shots. He is getting those headers. He is getting those moments count, but nothing is looking clinical from him. Now it is Callagher passes to Griezmann, Lino, on the left wings, Coke, back pass to Lino, Callagher on the left wings, Lino again, Coke, DePaul, Aspilicueta, Callagher again, Lino, Griezmann, build up looking good. Callagher goes for that missed pass tackle, but interception one. Finally, DePaul, what a pass that is! Oh my god, Alvarez was there. To talk about that, it was, to be precise, Angel Correa. Angel Correa and Alvarez both look so similar, but it was the likes of Angel Correa getting his first good involvement on the pitch. Inside the box, he was trying to get some cut in, but denied. In this game, those two goals from the likes of Guillermo Simeone has made those differences. or the moral inside the box. But that is a good tackle one by Lenormand. The ball tries to get those clearances but denied. Getafe are looking to build up something in the second half at least. In the first half, they were really looking nowhere near the build up. But in the second half, they are looking to make some sort of build ups happening. On the other hand, Atlanta has been knocked out by Bologna. Oh my god. Atlanta and Bologna in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. Bologna winning it. Can you just imagine it? Atlanta, who are doing so good this season as well as in the second half of the previous season, they have been making those differences count in the third spot in the Serie table, 4 points behind the Inter and a total of 7 points behind Napoli. But Atlanta are doing good in the Champions League as well. Have been knocked out by the likes of Bologna, who are at the seventh spot of the Serie table. I mean, to talk about Bologna are 10 points behind Atlanta in the Serie table, but in the Coppa Italia, Atlanta has been knocked off. And look at that, this was a razor edge game going on. 13 shots by both Atlanta as well as the likes of Bologna. One big chance which Atlanta even got, they missed it. Whereas Bologna has knocked Atlanta from the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. And to look at this, just have a watch. It is the likes of Bologna getting those goals, Castro on the 80th minute, whereas Atlanta couldn't get a single goal out of it, that too at the Jewish Stadium. Man, Atlanta has been knocked out, and to look at the fixtures of the Coppa Italia, yes, this is the fixture, I guess. It is Atlanta getting those humiliations against Bologna. Bologna have just moved their spot to the semi-finals. Juventus and Empoli coming on February 26th. But tomorrow it is Milan and Roma, whereas Inter and Lazio on the February 26th. Oh my god, it is Bologna who is going to face Juventus or Empoli from this side of the bracket, whereas Milan and Roma, the winners of this game against Inter and Lazio, will face the likes of this in the semi-finals. That is what is going to happen. My goodness, Atlanta knocked out. Paris Saint-Germain, on the other hand, in the Coupe de France, are 2 goals up against Lens. They are going to get those comfortable wins. Stuttgart and Augsburg in the DFB Pokal quarterfinal. Just have a look out of it. Stuttgart winning that DFB Pokal quarterfinal. The game against Augsburg at the MHP Arena, Stuttgart has won it. And the next is Leverkusen and Cologne, who are going to face, and Leipzig and Wolfsburg. So it is Stuttgart who are definitely going to face Leverkusen, because Leverkusen against Cologne are not going to definitely get those upsets at least. Whereas it is Leipzig who will try to get their chances maximized, because they are out of the Champions League and they are out of those big races in the Bundesliga as well. Leipzig will definitely try to get their maximum win out of this. And to talk about Leverkusen, they are the team who were just defeated by Leipzig. I mean, of those winning moments which they were having the past season. It was Leipzig this season who got their first win of those long streaks against Leverkusen. And in the second leg, also, Leverkusen and Leipzig, that fight was really so good. To talk about Leipzig out of the Champions League, but can they make that happen to the DFB Pokal is also the good aspect which has to be, because against Leverkusen, the first leg they have won, and in the second leg on January 25th, that was a draw. Leipzig and Leverkusen, that I mean, those fights are definitely going to come count. And to talk about that, on August 31, it was Leipzig in the first leg of the Bundesliga scoring 3 goals against to that of Leverkusen. But prior to that, Leverkusen has 3 wins. And apart from that, Leipzig won against Leverkusen on in the year 2022-23 season. Oh my god, but this DFB Pokal clash between Leipzig and Leverkusen is going to the finals, guys. No one can deny that. No one can deny that. But on the other hand, from here, Getafe are not looking making any changes. Getafe are not looking making anything happen in this game. PSG winning it big against Le Mans, 2 up. Atlanta and Bologna ending in those 1 goal defeat. Atlanta Gasperini's men knocked out of the Coppa Italia, but this game, Atletico Madrid 3 up against Getafe. The next game against Los Blancos, Guillermo Simeone, the man making those differences in the first half, getting those 2 goals. He was unfortunate he couldn't get his hat trick. He was called for the substitutions. Now it is Griezmann making his move out of the pitch. Oh my god. Diego Simeone bringing in more reinforcements. Griezmann has been just brought down to the sidelines. He needs his players to take those rest time. It is Sorloth who has been brought into the pitch on the 73rd minute. It is the likes of Alexander Sorloth coming onto the pitch. I mean, Sorloth is that man. He has scored, I mean, in this season, 29 games played, 10 goals he has scored. He is doing it good this season from Villarreal, and prior to that, he was at Leipzig, Sociedad, basically from Rosenborg to Bordeaux Glimt was the team which he was playing at Norway. He was at Crystal Palace as well. I mean, he has got those experiences as well. Sorloth, can he make those differences? Because Villarreal, he was, I mean, uh, some sort of lethal man. Sorloth was lethal at Villarreal, getting 26 goals out of his 41 games. These are the 2 strikers. Sorloth, the super sub, Angel Correa, the long-time super sub. I mean, to talk about Angel Correa, if we have that look into his profile, 451 games played. I mean, from 2015, 10 years. Angel Correa has been there, 29 years of age. This Argentine man from San Lorenzo, that club from Argentina, Diogo Simeone picking him up with his scouts and keeping Correa for those 10 years at Atletico Madrid. He has got 85 goals out of those 451 games. Angel Correa has got big stats for the Rojiblancos. Can these 2 strikers come up with two more goals at least. I mean, 5 goals against Getafe. That will be a big win, a big boost for the Atletico Blancos for their next game against the Ross Blancos at the Santiago Bernabeu. Whereas to talk about Getafe, they are deep down in the La Liga table, but in their next fixtures, they have got Deportivo Alves, Girona, Real Betis, and again they will face Atletico Madrid for the La Liga second leg on March 9th. So Getafe and the Rojiblancos are also going to face each other this season for the second leg in the La Liga. But this game ongoing at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano, the Copa del Rey quarterfinals, it is now looking one way. In the second half, Getafe still hasn't got any sort of consolation. 15 minutes of time left into it. That was a bad tackle. Look at that. The ball just was trailing down on the pitch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Getafe with that free kick, but denied. I mean, the Roger Blancos 3 goals up. I mean, I haven't seen much of those times where Diogo Simeone's men get those defeat after getting those big goals. Never has that happened because Diogo Simeone is that man. He has got those big stats counting for the Rojiblancos. 15 years, 715 matches, 427 wins, 154 draws, 134 losses. Those stats, those numbers are too big, and Diogo Simeone has his counting good. And in his senior career for the Rojiblancos, he has also got those 36 matches and 2 goals. And a manager for the Atletico Madrid, Diogo Simeone, is a big name in the La Liga. But every time the Rojiblancos move on to the Champions League quarterfinals or the finals or in the semifinals, they lose it. This time, can they make that happen? That is the first shot being taken. Oh my god, it is that fourth goal. Super sub Angel Correa has scored. What a shot, long ranger that was. Look at that. Let us say the goalkeeper for Getafe was nowhere near to get a touch to it. Angel Correa getting his 86th goal. Look at that. Angel Correa taking it with his right footer. He was trying to give it on the right wings, but he went for those shot. Oh my god, that was a long range shot straight down to the bottom corner on the far post, and let us say just couldn't get a touch to it. He was late on that jump. It is 4 goals up. Super sub Angel Correa scoring it for the Rojiblancos. 86th goal of his career at the Rojiblancos. This man has been the super sub of Diogo Simeone. He is so lethal. On the other hand, Getafe on the 80th minute of the watch in the second half hasn't yet got any big chances. Even the substitutions of Borja Mayoral, Tsunami, Bakucha, no one is making. Rather, it is the likes of Pep Bordalas who is making those defensive aspects, Bakucha and Luca Lor coming onto the page. That is bit annoying. That is bit annoying. That is looking bit annoying. Now, Riquelme and DePaul have been made the substitutions. DePaul coming on to the sidelines and Riquelme, the substitution being made for the mid pitch. Aspilicueta making those good tackles. It is Lino who is staying onto the pitch. No substitutions for Lino, no fresh legs for him, and Coke as well. Whereas Javi Galan has been substituted. Alvarez, Griezmann, DePaul, Simeone all have been given those rest time for the next game, but Lee Norman and Gimenez still staying on the pitch. They have got Wixel, Longlet, Reynaldo on for those defensive aspects, but no, Diogo Simeone is sticking to Lee Norman and Gimenez. But to talk about Los Blancos, I mean, they have got those injuries which will be seen in the next game because in the fixtures where they are going to face, I mean, the Madrid derby which is going on, Rudiger has got some injuries. Carvajal Alaba is again on a muscle injury. Militao is off. Camavinga is also off. Madrid has got injury concerns this season. It is Rudiger who was that centre back making those appearances will not be seen. Whereas Robin Lee Normand from the Rojiblancos is on a suspension, and that game against Los Blancos he won't be seen playing. Whereas Javi Galan has been declared of injuries. Oh my god. Javi Galan has got those injuries. He will not be present for the Rojiblancos as well. What is that which is going to be those differences coming on? Can the injury ridden Los Blancos will cause those upsets? Because against the Atletico, in this game, Atletico are roaring 4 goal up against Getafe. I mean, to talk about the transfers which the Atletico Madrid Rojiblancos have made, to be precise, it is Musso from Atlanta who is on loan this season, Longlet from Barcelona, Calaha bought from Chelsea, Alvarez from City. They have made those big transfers, Sorloth from Villarreal, Lee Normat from Real Sociedad, and they have given away those transfers, Vermirian, Valera, Paulo, Moreno. I mean, they have given away those players, Marcos Polo as well, but the Rochi Blancos has made those big transfers. That is what the numbers are counting from them in the Champions League as well as in the La Liga. Diogo Simeone has picked up his squad. This season he is looking so perfect. 84 minutes on the watch. No sort of consolation for Getafe. No consolation coming on. 4 goals up. 85 minutes on the watch. Molina has got that throw. That is a long throw he is going to pick. No, that is a short throw. Gallagher back passes to Lenormand. Jimenez, Aspilicueta. Man, to talk about this, Riquelme He is that player who will be much seen for Simeone to be seen. But upon the departure of Galan from the left backs, Riquelme is not making those moves. I mean, he is not even getting those assists from Aspilicueta. It is Rogi Blanco, Sorloth, Korea, back to Sorloth. Sorloth gets it and nets it. Oh my god. It is all the way and the highway for the Rogi Blancos in this game. And every time on those counters, they have got those ball into the nets. His game is just one way, 5 goal up. Blancos at the Riyadh at Metropolitano. Look at those counters. It was Korea getting those tackles. He won it. Back passes to Sorloth. It was Sorloth back passing him to Korea again. And then back to Sorloth. And Sorloth just nets it. Alexander Sorloth has got the first goal. And to talk about this man, Alexander Sorloth, he has got those 29 games and this is his 11th goal. Orloth is the man. He is speaking with the experience of Korea with him, the super sub who has got his 86th goal. And now it is Sorloth making those super sub aspects for the Rojim Blancos. Diogo Simeone this season has made has made those transfers as well as he has got his players look so good on the pitch. He has got that perfect build up ongoing in the La Liga table as well. He is doing so good. Man, it was Getafe trying to make some box movements. Not happening, not happening. It is humiliation, it is a big defeat, and it is definitely going to get the morale of the players so down. 5 goals up, that is a humiliation and that is a big loss. Aspilicueta staying on those defensive aspects. It is again Kelleher has got that ball. Blancos are making those moves. Oh my god, that was a pass being taken, but Sorloth wasn't that aware to take that touch to it. Samolino, Aspilicueta, back to Aspilicueta again. Jimenez, Lenormand. That is some midfield aspect going on. It is against Kelleher. Sorloth was waiting for that ball to take a shot. Rather, he would have just moved forward. Sorloth had that time to just move high up on the pitch to take those shots, but rather look at that aspect from Sorloth. But no, he was offside. Lino takes that shot, but at the cost of that interception from Getafe, just fails to get into the nets. Lino is that hard worker, he does it time and again. Samolino is that hard worker and he does it time and again. Corner being taken. Hook. Aspilicueta passes that to Riquelme. Riquelme gets a cut in, but no, denied. I mean, to talk about this player, Rodrigo Riquelme, 24 years of age, this Spanish national, 66 games, 2 seasons at the Rojiblancos, 5 goals from Girona, from the likes of Atletico Madrid B team, under 19. I mean, he is going to be that future. Diogo Simeone is just building up this got so good for this season. He has got those depths. Getafe looking on to make those counters. Shot from Borja Mayoral, but straight into the hands. No worries for Musso. No worries for Musso. Musso has been impressive in this game. Musso has been impressive in this game. He hasn't just easily being conceded on losing away those positions. Damn! No extra time, no stoppage time for this game to end. And on the 90th minute and 8 seconds, it is the referee on the pitch who has blown the whistle. And to talk about him, the man Guillermo Guando Fernandez just ends the game on the 90th minute 8 seconds with the Rojiblancos winning it 5 up against Getafe. The next game, Atletico Madrid against the Rojiblancos. I mean, in that fixture, that is going to be a huge clash because the Rojiblancos, they have got the injuries as well as those suspensions. Robin Lee Normand, the player against Los Blancos this upcoming weekend, he is on a suspension. Javi Galan is also on a new injury. Two of worries for Diogo Simeone, whereas for Ancelotti, apart from those injuries of Carvajal, Militao, it is the likes of David Alaba again going for those injuries. Rudiger is also that man injured. Camavinga is also an injury. What is, I mean, what is Ancelotti and what is Diogo Simeone going to cook up for the big clash coming on? But prior to that, Real Madrid are going to face Leganes in their upcoming fixtures, and it is tomorrow that they are going to face in the Copa del Rey. It is Leganes where they will face. After that, they will have the likes of Rojiblancos at their home of Santiago Bernabeu. That is also a big clash. And if Real Madrid gets that win over Leganes in the Copa del Rey, then again they have to face the Rojiblancos. Back to back, two fixtures against Rojiblancos, Los Blancos. What is that going to happen? One in the second leg of the La Liga and the other in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. And the winners will have to face for the not much expected Barcelona in the finals of the Copa del Rey. Whereas in the first leg, Real Madrid and the Atletico has got a draw. Apart from that, it was also a draw in the previous season. But in the Copa del Rey, the last time these two have met, it was the Atletico getting those wins. But in the Super Cup, it was Real Madrid winning it. I mean, one-on-one competition going on between these two Madrid epic clashes, the derbies. Either it is Atletico or it is Real Madrid who is going to win it. But on the other hand of the globe, it was Atlanta against Bologna, and Atlanta has lost, and Bologna has just knocked Atlanta out of the Coppa Italia. Big clash ongoing. And on the other hand, if Juventus and Empoli, on the other hand, going to get those wins, they will face Bologna. But on these semi-finals, Milan and Roma, who is going to get into it, or it is Inter and Lazio? Are we going to get those Milan derbies again? Because already we have got Inter Milan and AC Milan facing twice in the month of January and February this year. That was all about this team, guys. What are your suggestions? And we will come up with those compiled videos tomorrow morning. And yes, we had those votes as well on the chat section pinned, that whether the Rojiblancos are going to get those. Yes, the votes were for them. Whether the Atlanta are going to it, no, and they have got those defeats. That was the vote section which was pinned on the chat. And yes, thank you guys for just giving your votes on that poll section. That was all from my end. And tomorrow, the upcoming fixtures which we will be having the watch along is the likes of Leverkusen against Cologne in the DFB Pokal quarterfinals. I mean, in the DFB Pokal, if we talk about in the Bundesliga, Leverkusen and Leipzig are the much expected to get into the finals. Much happening. in the DFB Pokals, whereas Newcastle and Arsenal getting those big wins against Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, I mean, Mikel Arteta getting it against his senior Guardiola is the thing. But in the EFL Cup semi-final, it is the second leg. Arsenal are going to face Newcastle, where they have got their 2-0 defeat against Newcastle in the first leg. That is the thing to watch, as well as Liganes and Real Madrid and Milan and Roma upcoming for tomorrow night. The playlist are there, made already in the channel. Do check it, and yes, you can join us for our watch along. All are welcome. Apart from that, good night from my side. Big clashes coming on for tomorrow. Leverkusen, Cologne, Newcastle, Arsenal, Leganes, Real Madrid, and it is Milan and Roma. The Coppa Italia, the Coppa del Rey, the DFB Pokal, and the EFL for tomorrow night. Before that, keep going. Bye bye.